I'm gonna get you in trouble.
Okay, who's gonna be? I know someone else was supposed to host this panel.
Oh, here we go.
Ren.
Bring McKenzie
Hey,
in the
Ren.
building.
I was backstage looking and talking, and nobody could hear me.
That's
Oh God,
depressing.
I'm so hurt.
Mike
Who let
does that,
Who
honestly.
let Daddy Quick in here? Who let Daddy Quick? I quit.
I just sneak in every now and then.
I don't even want to be part of the panel no more.
I
Dang.
apologize, man.
But
I'm
I'm here. What?
sorry. Come on.
You
Hello.
are here. Okay, I'll take it all back. I'll take it all back. I'll take it all
Okay.
back. Hey, Danny, get out of here.
Sorry, I'm just gonna turn my camera off.
God, thank God. He's got he's here.
Oh.
Hi.
All right. Looks like I'm hosting this panel.
Yay. I was hoping you would, Mike. Let's go.
Wonderful. What happened to? I think both my panels had the same moderator. Is that right?
It wasn't supposed to, but that's how the dice roll.
They just said no. We're not doing it.
I don't know. I mean, life happens. Maybe they
Yeah.
got a flat tire or something.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a stomach ache.
Oh,
Maybe they got kidnapped by aliens.
that's possible.
That happened to me last week.
Blade might have confused them as a villain and chopped their head off. I mean,
That happens too.
Again, trying to stay alive. I'm just saying.
all right. So we're gonna go ahead and get this rolling, get it started. This is a conversation I do enjoy, very much so, and I love to hear other people's opinions about it. So I guess it was kind of fate that I'm ending up posting it. So we're gonna roll with the punches because that's what we've been doing all weekend.
Yeah.
All right. Let me go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves. Let's see here. Bam, bam, bam. I am Mike Watson. I'm the publisher of Freestyle Comics and the host for what's this show called? FSCon. I'm gonna get somebody else that
That guy's tired.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dana Morgan. I am the other half of the Mona Nui podcast. We stream every Thursday at 7 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You can catch us on the new network, Agents of Geekdom. So follow, like, and subscribe, and you can see us every Thursday.
Woo woo. This
Mike,
guy,
see,
Mike.
Mike quarterbacking. See,
Oh, my turn. Hello,
Terrible.
mates. No, I'm Midori_Hana. Midori, whichever tickles your fancy. I'm a variety streamer who taught English in Korea. I moved back beginning of this year. I stream on Twitch. I'm pretty much a variety streamer, so anything and everything I stream. I'm also on the Agents of Geekdom podcast. Catch me on that every Friday. And yeah, there you go.
you know who it is. It's your boy Danny J. Quick. I am also on the Agents of Geekdom, but I'm on two shows on Agents of Geekdom. I'm on Top 5 Live on Tuesdays and the Foretells podcast on Saturday mornings. I'm as a matter of fact, I'm just gonna be on all the shows. I'm just gonna get on everybody's show.
Danny, we don't want you. Oh my
It
God.
don't matter. It don't matter if you don't want
You're
it.
so annoying.
You don't want it. Like the Black Ariel, you're gonna get it anyway.
Oh my God. Don't even get me started.
So
Hey, we are here for this.
Why are
That's
we?
what the Ace Blade does. I'm just happy to be
I'm
here.
glad
Thank
I brought my tea.
Hey, look.
I'm about to go get mine.
I got
Jeez.
some. I got some now. It's got some juice in it. I'm Ren McKenzie. I'm an illustrator, and that's all I do. I draw. I ride motorcycles. I drop kick my son, and I like talking. So we'll see what happens.
The
Oh, no.
vibe.
Great.
Me next.
Yeah.
I'm
go
Andre
ahead.
Batts, creator of Dreadlocks Urban Style Comics Universe. Happy to be here, just ready to get it in. Just ready to kick it a little bit before I go pick my dog up.
All right.
All right.
Sorry, guys. FSK is popping right now. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, introduce yourself.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm Ryan. the originator coined by J-Man, here to talk about this lovely, beautiful topic. Get it going. Sorry, I dipped out. FSK's popping right now, so I'm sorry.
Hey, do your thing, man.
Do you think, man? Sell them books, man. We understand.
We got a lovely cast of people here. We're about to dig into it. Our panel topic is seeing you in media equals success in the real world. And so just to make sure we're all understanding that statement with my panelists and our viewers in the chat that are watching along with us. Do you feel like that if you saw a version of yourself regularly in media, in comic books, and in movies and TV shows, and storybooks and things like that, do you feel like if you saw regular versions of yourself, that would help you equate to or understand how to be successful? That would transfer some consciousness to you to make it easier for your mind to say, hey, I can do something that may seem challenging because I've seen versions of myself do challenging things and win. And I know we're talking about superhero comic books and video games and things like that. So I'm not talking about jumping off a roof, you'll fucking die. I'm talking about, seeing yourself or a version of yourself being consistently successful, being the hero and, saving the day or doing something tough and creating a magnificent invention. Do you think that type of thing passes on to us in the real world? Who would like to start us off?
I'll start.
Who said I'll start?
Dana.
That was me.
That was two of us at the same time, but it's all good.
Well, I definitely see it's very important to have that in media, because with me being a photographer and also doing voice acting, a lot of times what you tend to see in media is the white cosplayers, you see the skinny cosplayers, you see, but you also see it in animation, as everybody upset about Black Ariel. It's like we've had over 40 something years of white princesses or variants of it before we got to even see the first Black princess, which is Tiana.
And
So,
she was a
seeing
frog
those
the whole
things-
movie.
There you go.
She was green. She was green the whole movie. Yeah.
Exactly. And of course, people like, well, there's Jasmine. Jasmine also, we got,
That's Middle
we
Eastern.
only saw her a small part of the movie, and she's being pursued the whole entire time. So it's one of those that we want to see us, someone that looks like us, that represent us, but is not either being a trope or anything else. We want to see me in that character.
I think
Who wants to go next?
I think to piggyback off what Dana was saying was just a matter of, I want to see it, but I don't want it to be forced. I don't want it to be used as a marketing ploy. I don't want it to be used as a political ploy. Like, touching back on the Ariel thing, am I happy she's Black? Not really, because that's a white person's story, honestly. I mean, if it was a different story for a mermaid of a Black color, right? I think that would have been better. Give us a different story. We all know Little Mermaid, and I think that's why there's so much backlash about it. So of course, it sets us back as Black females in the acting world or the acting space, because they're taking this negative light and it's going to be stuck on us to where they're like, well, we can't take this chance again. We can't take this chance, and we're not going to make money from this if we do this. Let's not do that. So then it actually makes less opportunities for us than makes more opportunities for us. There you go.
I would contest and agree with that with Midori as well. In regards to that, because that does make a lot of sense. I mean, there is a pro and con. That's why there's so much coverage on this. But there's also coverage of seeing representation. I think representation is the point of what we're getting at, because we've only seen white people. Let's just face it, white people dominate Hollywood in every aspect, shape, and form.
Mm-hmm.
So representation is something. We have not seen proper representation of, usually when we see a person of color, they're playing a stereotype, a gang member, a drug
Mhm.
dealer.
Yeah.
You don't see successful black characters unless they've already been there or had to earn their success. You just can't come off being successful. And there's not been proper representation for a lot of things, in my opinion, when it comes to race, sex, and creed in television or Hollywood.
True.
So I
Yeah.
think for me, to get to that success, we have to see ourselves in a positive light, in shape way. That's why Black Panther was such an impactful movie,
Yeah.
because we didn't see black people struggling, having issues, problems,
Yes.
difficulties.
Yeah.
That representation was right off the back of just being a prominent, successful black man with royalty and power. And no, like we saw something that was of light. So I think seeing more stories like that need to be told that. And I 100% agree with Midori. Like, if The Little Mermaid had a different aspect, a different story, I'm sure there's going to be some changes in The Little Mermaid, but it's still
It
the
still has
same
that Disney
story.
like
Yeah,
core of the white
yeah,
girl with red hair, and now you're trying to stick a black girl in there, and you're like, no wonder people are upset. This is not what you grew up on. And just like Black Panther, the story called for it to have that kind of united front of black representation. So if we had like I think we touched on it yesterday's panel, if we take a bunch of like these indie comics that you guys are amazingly are creating for so many represent people, take that and make it live action, a lot of people would be representing it because they don't know the story. It would be something new. It would be something fresh.
Yeah.
But when you sit there and you put people into known stories that you know for a fact, this person was a female, this person was a male. I remember the Cinderella live action. People were upset about the fairy godfather instead of the fairy godmother. You're trying to change something that don't need to be changed for the sake of, again, for a marketing ploy to show that you're diversity and we're with everybody. You're not, though. You're not. You're just we can
it's a
see
cash
through it.
grab.
It's a
My
cash
issue with
grab,
Hollywood right now.
which
Yeah.
is why I strongly push all of us nerds to boycott this shit. Stop giving them money, man.
I have to
Anybody
piggyback off
else
of.
with a different perspective?
So I like to piggyback off of what you just said, Midori. I do agree that there should be more independent creations out there. The thing of the matter, we still have the issue of Marvel, DC, and other companies out there. Their images are out there, and they're giving us, you know, uh, people that look like us, and so on and so forth. That's fine. That you gave us Nick Fury. You gave us the new Captain America, which we know in the comics he did eventually become black or whatever. But it does need to be more independent projects out there, more so than that which is already seen. Because that's, like you said earlier, we have too many issues coming up with other individuals being pissed off because they already know for a fact that the Little Mermaid was somebody that looked like them a while back, or they knew Nick Fury was a white guy, and so on and so forth. That's fine. But if they come out and reach out to what we're actually doing and what we actually have to offer, then it becomes bigger for us. And I think if more of us see, it's like if the kids see more of us out there, not what they're seeing every day as far as Marvel and DC and whoever else that's mainstream. They see more independents out there doing these positive images on the bigger screens or independent screens. Doesn't really make a difference. If they see that, I think they can gravitate to it, and I think we'll have a lot more creators out there creating images that look like them, as opposed to still trying to mock those that are suppressing us in these industries. That's basically all I had to say to that.
Well, I'll also say, like, on the opposite end, I remember when they did the live action of Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds, and people were up in arms because a lot of that younger generation was used to seeing Jon Stewart as Green Lantern from the animation. So they were like, why are you turning him white? Even though that character was white initially, but that's what they grew up seeing. So they
Thank
were up in arms, like, no, why you have a white guy playing him? So it's one of those, like you said, is what everybody is saying is what we present to the youth as they're young. When they grow up, they expect to see that, and that's why you're seeing more of like the Gen Ys, the Gen Zs, the Alpha. All of them
Alphabet,
are
say it all.
speaking their mind through social media.
Yeah. No, I've said it until I'm blue in the face. Like
Agree.
the comic books, and the mangas, the anime, all of that does the work for these people. All you have
Yeah.
to do is look for the people that has that background of the character and just put it on screen. You don't have to do all this changing of crap. The comic books do 90% of the work for you. All you got to do is
Yeah.
put people in it. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The scripts,
But-
you can add more to the script if you need to, but the dialogue's in the comic books already. Take what they
Yes.
say. Like, us nerds just want to see what we've been reading, what we've been, seeing, buying for all of these years, and turn it live action, make it look sexy. We're not
I think
asking for you to change our minds about things.
that's the problem though with Hollywood. When you're adapting things and adapting other people's properties, they're always going to change it, no matter what. I mean, we have a property that's coming out right now, Interview with the Vampire. They're adapting that, and it's completely different timeline, different change. And it's still playing off color as well. So we're always not going to have that. Like, for instance, if somebody came up to Mike and said, I'm going to buy Hot Shot from you, they're going to make changes to Hot Shot, unfortunately. And the problem is that if Mike's going to sign off on that or not, you
Right.
have that power to do that. You can say, no, I don't want that. They're not going to give you anything. That's when
Right.
the door's shut, So we got to remember always, it's never going to see how we want it to be. And I think
Right.
that's what's wrong with fandom in general. They expect in their expectations, I want word from word what I've already pictured. But
Yeah.
the problem is you're picturing it in your head. You
Yeah.
are visualizing what you want to see and adapt what you want to see in your mind, and you want to see it exactly how these people are going to make it when they're not. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we get this unridiculous negativity, this backlash. But people don't forget, we wouldn't have this stuff in general. This shit was not being made 20 or 30 years ago. We would get a nerd movie or a culture movie of geekdom every 15 to 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like Star Wars, the prequels weren't made until 1997.
90s. Yeah.
We didn't see a Star Wars movie since 1984. Like,
Mhm.
there is time gaps. Now you're getting all this content every year, 5 to 6 projects, and we're still bitching.
Mhm.
Sorry,
Just
everyone.
saying.
I'm going to have to get ready to chime out. I just got the call. So, bless you, brother. I'm going to have to get on out of here. Thanks for having me for a few seconds.
No,
Good to
you're
see you
good.
again, Andre.
So,
Good seeing you, Ren. Long time no see.
You too, brother.
excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Shut up,
Bless you,
Mike.
Mike.
So, this is why I love having conversation. This is
All right,
exactly
listen.
why I love it.
I
So, go ahead.
yeah. I'm extremely excited about all of it. Truthfully, I am of the mindset that it doesn't truly bother me whether they include, disclude, otherclude. I think a lot of it has been because we were under the control of whatever Hollywood wanted to put out, and they only put out themselves, right? I don't have a problem with a black, an Indian, an Asian Ariel. I don't care. I really don't. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch it. It's not geared towards me, and maybe I don't have a right to speak on it. However, I know that going forward, I would love to see more things for our young girls, our young boys.
Mhm.
our young others. I want to even if it is a pre-made story, it's a beginning.
Yes.
Until we are able to open our eyes to the idea that we can be a dwarf, an elf, a mermaid, or
Thank you,
whatever,
Rand.
Mhm.
Thank
we
you.
are not going to allow ourselves to have our stories made. Nobody's ever seen it on a grand scale, my comic or Mike's comic or whatever, right? We have fandoms, we have groups of people who see them and they love them, and that's cool. But once we pitch these things, if Hollywood says, nah, that's not good enough, then it doesn't get made. You know what I mean? We have to allow unfortunately we have to allow them to make these films in order to open the doors for us, right? To make it normality for us to be on screen with the rest of them.
Screw it. I'm going to Netflix.
I want to I'm gonna piggyback off of Ren. I know I'm the host, but like I said, I enjoy this conversation so much.
You're
Just
so
tickles me.
laid back, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the long weekend.
Midori, he booted me. He booted me.
I don't care why Disney, why Sony, why any company wants to start diversifying their films. What I care about is that they're doing it. I do have an understanding that companies don't like taking L's, and they're not going to take L's on new IPs. You want to know why they're not going to take new L's on new IPs? Because we ain't buying new IPs. Nobody's putting money into anything that they have done new to justify them doing anything new. And they have stuff that has been around for 70, 80, 90 years, and that shit is sound. And they are making millions upon millions of dollars of that stuff. If I had a business making that much money, and I have this project that's making this much money, and I saw that 20 years ago, a bunch of girls and boys enjoyed this project, and I'm raising it for a new generation of boys and girls, I'm going to have to speak those boys and girls' language. Their language today for our kids right now is live action movies. Our kids are well more self-aware of color, of sex, of gender, of size, and all that stuff. So if Disney, the mouse, and whoever the hell else wants to start diversifying their films, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I don't care. As Ren said, it opens up more doors. The more the big boys make it normal, the more other people are going to start looking for it from smaller people like us.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it does have an effect as far as on a realistic level, because I auditioned at Disney and they the way that they went about the auditions, I made it to the final 3, but all to find out oh, we're not looking for Princess Tiana. We're trying to look for Cinderella, and I think it was Snow White. So if they're gonna make it diverse in their movies, well then you gotta stand on that and do it in your parks. Go full scale with it. You can't just half-ass it. And I think that's where it kind of blockades, and as far as a Disney standpoint, I can't say the same for like Marvel or DC, but at least for Disney, if you're gonna make Ariel black, are you gonna give black girls an opportunity to audition or to be that part in your parks as well?
Do you think this is the way opening door for them?
No, because Disney is very strict. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the stories of how they are as far as running their parks and stuff. I don't see them doing that because they are so strict on their characters.
Okay, so but if the case is now that Ariel is going to be black in the movie, now aren't they going to be able to hire black Ariels for the parks though?
There's going to be kids looking for a black Ariel.
But that's what I'm saying. Right? But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if they're going to go and make Ariel black, then I need you guys to follow suit with that. I need you to open that door for little girls that look like the black Ariel to be Ariel in the parks, which I, for one, don't think they're going to do.
I believe
think
they
I don't see
will.
why not.
I
I don't
believe
see
they
why not.
will if
I don't
if,
see why
if we
not either.
support it. If we support it
if we, yeah,
and we push and we tell
Mhm.
them this is what we want, then they will do it.
Yeah, y'all saw
I
they
agree.
just fired the Sesame Street people because they wasn't they was
They
not
don't
really-
want any negative press, man. Like
yeah.
I made
Disney's not
and
in the mode of losing. They're not.
and Rena make fun of me for this, and that's fine because I love him. That's my brother. But maybe
Don't
I
choke,
might
baby.
just be a big old softy because I have 3 girls. But like I said, like watching them and helping and raising them and watching all the content that I watch with them together and not seeing enough stuff for them
Yeah.
when they do see themselves and they get excited. I'm here for it. I'm here for it by
Yeah.
any means.
Yeah.
The content that I make sure that my daughters are able to see themselves in that same content. When Ariel came on, my daughter Mila loves Ariel. Don't matter if that girl is white or
White,
yellow.
blue. Yeah.
My daughter loves Ariel, but when she saw a black Ariel, she got extremely happy because she looked at
And
me
hit
and
them
said,
notes.
"Like me."
My
She
girl
said,
can
"That's like me."
sing.
She's a black Ariel.
I
There's
think
a lot
there's
of
something
power
else
in that.
important too. I think
Go
there's
ahead,
something important too, Mike. Like, because we see that the diverse. Okay, yes, they're putting black skin on characters that are traditionally white. Okay, cool. But I think one of the important things that we're missing is that the choices, the decisions are being made now by more diverse people too. So if you all right, so one of the prevailing thoughts is that Miss Halle Bailey was able to get this role because Beyonce did this movie, The Lion King, a few years back that had this huge black cast, but because of her influence, she was able to get people on the board of directors for hiring and scouting and stuff like that. So now that she was able to put her voice and her influence into those rooms, it gave opportunities for people in her camp. So you know that she is raising up. She's basically raising up Halle Bailey and what's her sister's name?
Chloe.
They're
Chloe.
Chloe.
Bailey. They're in her, they're in her on her label. So now because she has more influence with Disney, it gives them the opportunity to diversify more than just the characters on the screen, but the people who are making the decisions too. And if you have more different voices, and the girl can sing, like the girl can
Yeah.
straight out sing. She's got skills.
Heights.
So that's one of the most iconic parts of the character Ariel is her voice. So if she has a
Yeah.
great voice, why not play the role? And I'm like, Mike, I got 3 daughters, and I probably wouldn't go see the Little Mermaid myself, but I'm definitely taking them. I'm definitely taking them 3 girls to see it. So I'm all for it.
So with the light of that, I want to bring up I always kind of thought this thing was important, and it didn't really hit me until I saw a certain movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. There is a scene in that movie where, and for future context, my son's name is Miles Parker Watson. And for those of you that may not know that, Miles Morales is Spider-Man in the comic books and Peter Parker as well. So Miles Parker Watson for both of them. Absolutely.
Yeah, he
so-
looks like Miles too.
He does.
That's the scary part.
We were sitting down, and up until I think I actually took him to go see this movie, Batman has always been his favorite character. I remember when he was little, he'd sit down next to me, I have him bundled up, and I'd be playing the Batman video game. So he just grew to love Batman. But there's a scene where Miles Morales is walking down the street, and he daps up all his friends, and they call his name, and his shoestrings are untied, and he's just moving casually through the neighborhood, dapping up his friends, going to school, and that chimed with me. But then they called out Miles, and my son looked around and he looked, and I was like, "Yeah, that's your name. That's you. That's you up there, buddy." And like his eyes got so big, and then he's web slinging, he's putting on his costume, he's being Spider-Man, and like Miles is just going like he's eating it up. I can't like that feeling for him, the access to this. Like I'm jealous of my children of the stuff that they are getting to get now. That they're
Honestly,
getting to
yeah.
live and breathe. Like, and they're spoiled with it, with the content that they're getting. And then I got to go up here like a 40-year-old plus dad, like, back in my day, we had one black boy, and he was the back character, and he was the jokester, and they killed him 10 minutes into the movie. Y'all got whole
Back.
black stars now.
Hey, I'm still that guy.
But still, that-
But I bring up that scene to say to piggyback off of Midori. That movie wasn't forced.
no,
That was
Yes.
a narrative. That was
so
that was a
natural.
narrative that was just natural.
Yes.
So
And that's all I'm asking for, honestly, as a nerd, as an audience. Like, just don't force it down people's throats. Just let it
Amen.
come natural. You know, not every character has to be gay. Not every character has to
Thank
be.
you, Midori. Say it again.
And I'm
Say
coming
it
from the
again.
alphabet community, so you can't come after me, peeps. All right.
Can't come
Like,
after me either.
you don't have to force it, because when you force
Thank
it, that's when it gets that negative light. Like I said, I feel like
Thank
things
you.
are being forced, then I don't want to see it. I don't want to support it. And I'm in the community. You know what I mean? So it's like,
But I agree with you. I agree that that's what I was saying earlier about the right people writing and producing these
Thank
films,
you.
because that's when
Yes.
when it's not the people that's behind the scenes that are part of that community. That's when it feels forced, when it doesn't feel genuine, right? And that's, I agree with y'all, even though I don't feel like it's. I actually do feel like it's intentional, you know, to when they put, you know, just the token black guy was a whole thing for the whole
that
of the
was
90s and
90s.
early
I was
2000s, right? So they used to do it all the time, and you know, it got to where it was super offensive, like, and now it's a joke that we make. But
Yeah.
I think that, especially like since we're talking about Ariel and Little Mermaid, I think that is opening up, you know, opportunities for, you know, for 10 years from now or 5 years from now, when Aquarius, the Book of Mer, by Afua Richardson.
Yes.
She's got mermaid, like that's a project created by a black woman who now, because of Ariel being black, people are going to be looking for more projects like that. So that might open up doors for her. And then, you know, who knows what'll happen 5 or 10 years from now.
I just hope that Hollywood takes a chance on unknown names. That also is getting annoying, as far as just, you know, you should
Oh,
like
Midori, I
Rock
wish that was
being
the
at Black
case, bro.
Adam, right? The Rock being Black Adam. I'm just like, I love The Rock too. That's the sad part. I love The Rock, but I'm just like, you could have found somebody else.
Midori, I'm gonna
Well,
be that
for
guy.
that, he ended
know.
up being that because he's backing that project. He's
I know.
one of the executive
I
producers
know.
and everything.
It's kind of like Shang-Chi, where he pretty much got that pushed by Twitter. Like, why don't we have an Asian representation?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, I
Pick it
agree.
up.
I agree on that. But Black Adam looks terrible. I'm sorry, guys.
What?
So-
What?
No,
Why?
thank you, Ryan. Thank you. I'm not
Danny,
the only one.
That's it.
Jesus
It looks
Christ, how
great.
many times you seen that movie? You've seen that movie before, bro.
And I watch it every
Bro, there's
time.
been
It's like
3
Fast and
trailers.
Furious.
There's been 3 trailers, and all we know is that he's just hateful because his son got killed. But what do we
Yeah.
know about that story?
Be mad and
The
blow
Justice
stuff
League
up.
of
That's what I
Society
like.
going for him? That
Danny,
movie looks
we're gonna have a
complete
therapy session,
garbage.
okay, Danny? Danny
Garbage.
needs
Be mad
therapy
and
right
blow
now.
stuff up. I'm good with that. I'll
So-
watch it.
It's visually pretty, but that movie looks like my left toe.
But you don't even need visual like prettiness anymore. Like, again, we
No.
grew up on stuff looking crappy as hell. Okay, the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Thank you.
I'm just saying,
Hey,
the
calm
first
down.
Mortal
Calm
Kombat.
down.
Whoa,
Calm down.
whoa, calm
Calm
down.
down.
Yeah,
that
but these
down.
are good movies.
Wow,
All of
wow,
them are
yeah.
good
The
movies.
Ninja Turtles was good.
They were so
Don't-
good.
don't
But that's my point.
talk
That is
about
my
the
point.
first
Talking about
Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
That's
Turtles.
my point. That is my point. It did not look aesthetically pleasing, but damn it, it was a good ass movie.
I still watch Ninja Turtles
How
2.
dare you.
I will watch the 90s version before I will ever touch this
Oh,
new shit.
we were friends
Mike, I'm
before.
with you.
Still stand up today.
Mike, I'm with you.
The
We can't
practical
be
effects,
friends
man.
anymore.
Hey, them things were sturdy.
Jim Henson, beast.
Yes. I love Mike. I really do. I do. No, I'm not hating on it, but that's what I'm saying. Like special effects, all of that back in the day, I would watch that crap over and over compared
Crap.
to what's crap coming out now.
Ah, you keep
Yeah.
giving us some stuff and then you dog it.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
taking
not
all the
dogging
notes,
it
Midori.
from me.
I'm taking all
Red,
the notes.
don't do this to me. Don't do this, Red.
Nope. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna take my crush back.
Oh, come on. This is not me. I'm using my students' words, all right? When I turned on Ninja Turtles for a freaking high school class, they're like, hey, this crap hits. I'm like, okay. I don't know if that's a double negative or what. I'm glad you liked it, all right? So, but that's what the kids now will categorize our stuff that we grew up
They're
on.
spoiled. The kids now are spoiled.
Exactly. But I mean, even
No.
video game wise, we came from pixels. Robot like block boobs from Lara Croft, god dang it, and look at
Street
at
Fighter
how
still
good that
beats
games were.
anything I see today.
Exactly. But we came from simplicity and it was good.
Amazing.
But now if they focus on the visuals and everything blowing up and everything's got to be CGI effects and boo 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 boo, you lose the story.
That does bring me to my question. We got a little sidetrack.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Now, I think at times there are two levels of this diversity thing that people are trying to do in media, which is the natural form. Just do it, have it in it because that's what it is. That's how the world exists and breathes. And then the other version of it, which we're talking about, where it seems like it's being forced and it's being shouted down your neck. I personally, I don't give a damn about pissing off racist people, so I'm all about it. But I think at sometimes there are levels of mentality in our fan base that needs to see the one that is shouting and yelling at them with picket signs that it's here. And then there's another fan base that doesn't need it, that understands it exists and could just move and breathe within that medium. Do you think that that's something that's true or no? And anybody can answer that.
I think it's absolutely true. There's as a darker skinned human, it takes a long time for the gap from what Hollywood is used to my tone. You know what I mean? Like a lot of what a lot of people don't speak about is a lot of the roles that come are lighter skin tones. They try to keep it as close to white as possible, and you have the drug addicts, the drug dealers, the wife beaters and pedophiles. They all look ominously like me. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times it pisses me off, and I can't say anything. I can't go online and bitch about it and say, oh, well, you know, all crackheads don't look like that. There's a lot of light skin and white crackheads too. But you put us in the movies, and it's like I can't see a good representation of myself yet. You know, Black Panther was the most amazing thing I ever saw in my life. I'll be 48 in a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it took that long for a positive for a mainstream positive dark-skinned character.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I absolutely applaud almost every representation of my people.
What was that the cowboy movie on Netflix?
I loved it, but it just came out.
No, not even that. It's they kind of did a bit of colorism, I will say.
Oh, they
because
absolutely did.
The main
Oh, yeah.
female character
That's
is supposed to be definitely a
Yeah.
darker skinned woman, but they
Yeah.
went with
Yeah.
a light skinned girl. And that, I mean, as a history nerd, I was very upset about that because I'm like,
Yeah.
she looks like me, but that's not how she's supposed to look. Like
Right.
again,
Yeah.
Right.
the history did the work
That
for
could've
you. All you had to do
easily-
was look and
Yeah,
look
that
for
could have
somebody to
easily
do
went
it.
to a darker skin actress.
Could have
Easily.
easily.
I didn't hear what movie you're talking about.
It was
what is that movie called?
We fall down.
Nazi,
How do we
Nazi
fall?
Beast played
How do we
Joker.
fall?
There you go. Yeah,
How do we
Yeah.
fall?
that was a good movie, but even though it was a good movie, it still in itself had colorism problems, and that's
Yep.
Yeah.
so I definitely feel for you.
And
Like,
it's gonna
like,
sell
You
it.
hear a lot
I
of
don't like what they do.
What's so funny though is you hear a lot of actors being more open in discussions about what goes on behind scenes and things like that. And I totally would understand and get that they said you can have free reign with all of this, except that lead romantic role got to be a white girl or a light skinned girl.
Mhm.
But she's dark skinned and she's larger. I don't care about that. You can do whatever you want with all the rest. You want a whole black cast? I'm telling you, she got to be light skinned. Like the studios make arrangements like that. They make things like that,
Mhm.
and it sucks, that type of stuff happens. But at the same time, to be able to get more access, to be able to prove that it's a worthwhile venture, they
Yes.
take that role. They're like, all right, I won 90% of the deal, so I got to take this to go the next day to try to win 100% of the deal.
I mean, I get
I'm not saying
it.
it's right. I'm
Yeah,
just-
I know. I get it, but then it's like, as the creator, you should have your foot down on some things. Like I mean, I get it. Money, you're getting your project out there. The money's looking good. Like I get it, but then there's so many other outlets, especially in this now day and age. There's so many other ways for your stuff to be seen and backed.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, you went out of your way and you created FSK Con, man. That's crazy to me. So if you can do it, the popular YouTuber Vader, Darth Vader or King Vader or something like that,
King Vader.
Yes, King Vader.
he said it himself. He did not see any black people in animes and all this. And now look at what he's doing. He's making Netflix series and all that stuff because he's standing on making sure he sees who he wants to see in his creations. So if
Yes.
you can't make it in Hollywood right now, okay, that's fine. Go to somebody else that'll give you a chance to keep your cast the correct way or tell your story the correct way and take that chance. I mean, I know it's a huge risk to put out there and me ask for, but hell, I'll support somebody who did all of that, who put in their all for something like that, than somebody who's like, Avatar: The Last Airbender, perfect example. If they would
That
have
movie didn't exist. That movie didn't exist.
if they would have put their foot down, we would
Dana.
not have that atrocious.
That movie
Dana,
never
go ahead, girl.
existed. It is not. It's never happened. It never happened. Mm-mm.
Can
It
I
never
ask-
happened.
can I ask a question?
It's sad to say that you have to say it didn't exist because somebody looked at the dollar signs versus their creativity.
No, so I think that situation is a little bit different, but I'll let Ren go first.
I've got a question. Does the subject we're talking about work the other way? If there's outside of a Black Panther or what's the new movie you saw that just came out? Woman King. Is an all Black cast, does it work against us in some instances?
White Hollywood would say so. Yeah.
What I'm asking is even in like in an American society,
Mhm.
we probably won't see an all Black story unless it's a negative story because of the unfortunate history that we've had here, right?
I think when you say that, like with always, we will be always portrayed as something in negative. When, like, for instance, Ryan Coogler, like, he wants to make all Black films. Same for like Jordan Peele. They're all about casting an all Black cast, in regards to that. But if we did that, we would become racist as well.
Yeah.
We're not having other minorities in your film. It's that same idea of saying, all Black all the time, or are we going to see something else in there? I think my problem with Hollywood in general is that it takes these kind of formations to bring other minorities to life. I mean, they
Yes.
just cast, Marvel just cast the first Muslim superhero in New World
Yes.
Order for Captain America 4, and there's still issues with that till this day.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff to me is a problem. My favorite television show of the year is Miss Marvel. Due
Yes.
to representation and the way it was portrayed and how beautiful it was written.
Mhm.
Yes.
But we still have problems with that.
Yeah.
My problem with this is it's getting tiring. The world is visually changing.
Yeah.
Identities are being changed. Visually, everything's being changing, and we're not getting on it. It's not our generation anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's the next
Yeah.
one, and the next one following that one. We're
Yeah.
not, and only this change on the ball is the mouse is on the ball. Netflix is on the ball. These companies need to start being on the ball and allowing this change to affect, because once you start, it continues. It
Mhm.
just continues.
And
That was
so-
my 2 cents. I love y'all. Sorry, Ren.
Hey,
Sorry.
listen,
I love you, brother.
you
Sorry,
answered
you
the
just got me
question.
hyped, brother.
Nah, you answered the question exactly how I would have expected. Like I want even on our side to understand that, like, we want to be included, but we can't ask for inclusion
While we.
by being exclusive.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
Ren, that thing that you said about working against you, I hate that, and I agree with you, because one of the reasons is Denzel Washington got an Emmy for a role I don't think he should have got an Emmy for.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
He got an Emmy
Mhm.
For being
being
a
a
bad
hood.
guy.
for being a bad guy, for being a hoodlum, for being able to, for saying the N word
Right.
and popping off like a gangster. That's what he got an Emmy for. But
Yep.
Yeah.
he pours his heart and soul. I'm not going to say he doesn't do it. He pours his heart and soul in all his roles. But there's roles like where he was the dad and his son needed a transplant in the hospital.
John Q.
John Q.
Job
Yeah.
you.
Got you.
Halle Berry gets an Emmy for what?
For
And an
showing her
Oscar.
titties.
For that movie?
An Oscar
That's
for
Yes.
making me feel
Give her an
good.
For humping a man.
So-
Yeah.
It definitely
Trash.
is It definitely is representation and how Hollywood or media tries to portray us. Because I went to go see The Woman King with my wife a couple days ago. The movie is fantastic, and there are scenes
Yeah.
in that movie of just black people being happy in their village, minding their business, toiling away. There's no arguments. They're just doing what they need to do to live day to day in this time, and it is incredible because I don't get to see that on film. I don't get to see that on TV. In Black Panther, we have not only a positive image of a dark-skinned black man, that he has a good relationship with his ex-girlfriend, that he values and respects his mama. He had a great relationship and loved his daddy.
Mhm.
He gets advice and seeks advice from what is seen as the most powerful portion of the country, which is the women that protect him in Black Panther. And all of the shades, tones, hairstyles, all of that showcased in there.
Mhm.
That is 2 films where the majority of people of color have been showcased positive
Mhm.
Mhm.
throughout the entirety of the film. So it's something that is not seen or carried on very much, and I want to see more of it. The reason I love, and please go see The Woman King. It is incredible.
Yes.
And I'm going to be 100% honest. I never respected the history or culture of things coming from Africa, because what was presented to me is that Africa is janky, that Africa is dirty. And whenever we have films about our history, there's no money put into it, there's no value put into it, there's no research put into it, none of that stuff. But then I see all these great episodic history movies about everybody else's culture, saving the day, saving the world, jumping on a grenade, all that stuff.
Yep.
But then I saw this movie, The Woman King, yesterday, and I said, God damn, give me a damn sword.
Yeah.
Let me lose about 150 pounds. And
Boy, stop.
I want to toil in the sand. I want to go chuck. Look, the movie's amazing.
Just go out in that heat. You'll sweat it all off. All right. Shit.
That shit works.
No, but that's the thing. It's unfortunate that we had to wait so many years just to get
Yeah.
two positive black movies. That's unfortunate. And then, I mean, we're still freaking struggling in the video game world as far as even seeing people in the video
Mhm.
games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of people like what is it, Horizon. I know a lot of people like that game, but I was kind of hoping to see like a Native American in that
You're
role.
absolutely right.
I felt cheated that I didn't get to see that representation on something that was, in a sense, tribal.
Hey,
But that's just me. That's just me.
no,
But
no,
again, I would rather
not
see
just you.
more representation in video game space as well. Like it
I
sucks that we
100%
have only
agree with
two
Midori.
in movies, but damn, where's a video game?
No, you're absolutely right. Because I played that
Video
game.
games tell
Horizon
some of the most
is
best
amazing.
stories. Yeah.
Horizon is an amazing game, and they have a lot of diversity in that game. But I kept trying to say to myself, "There's something bugging me about this,"
It's that
There's
main
something
character.
not
I
right.
can't.
and it's the main character
I'm like, why?
because she's the only
Why?
person that looks like that in the game, and everyone else is.
Everyone else is the. Thank you. Okay, it's not.
Everyone else is a
not
person.
me.
No.
I'm legit like sitting. I was like so excited when I saw like I think it was E3. Saw the trailer. They were showing like the landscapes and all this, and I when they showed her, I was like, maybe she's like another person you could play with. I didn't think that was going to be the main person. So when it came out, and I'm working at GameStop, and I'm like looking through like the books and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me right now? Like, I can't get people to pre-order this crap. I don't support it.
Mhm.
Like, where is our representation in the video games? And I'm sorry, I will speak for myself, but just because you add some awesome hairstyles for us finally does not mean I like you as a video game company.
Thank you.
That's my TED talk. Pulling Ryan.
So
Well,
Oh, no,
I love that
concur with
Midori brought up about video games because I don't know if y'all saw in the news as far as dealing with the company that oversees shoot, that's my mind. Shoot, I forgot it already. The ones that have the little icons above their heads. Sims, yes.
Yeah.
So they had it because there was a lack of hairstyles, skin tones, and such that people out in the community was making these mods
Yeah,
to
mods.
allow us to have the hairstyles, the looks, the things that we were looking for. Then they will acquire these, build it into their system, but not give credit to those creators. And then even to the point that they were like, hey, we can sue you aspect. And it's like the people had to end up doing the work for you. You could easily have hired them to make sure the people that were taking advantage of these mods and paying those creators to use their mods, you could have done the same and had them work for your company to keep that diverse look that your audience who's purchasing your games can get.
Dana, as a person who got a degree in video game design and be told that the whole Rick and Morty of, oh, well, we need you to have experience to get this entry-level job. Okay, well, I guess I won't get any experience. So here I am now, guys, not working for any game company, but because they rather pay somebody overseas less
Yes.
and insource it, and outsource it to get the job done. And then to piggyback off of the creators, Ebonic Sim, she legit does all the edge laying, all of it for us in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And to see that she didn't get any of that credit, to just watch it as the first person unfold, I'm like, this is okay? How are we getting how? Just pay the people who helped you. Say thank you.
I can't. Oh, what was the name of the movie that Cedric the Entertainer's in? Where he is a mob boss, and he gives a really dope speech about how we as people of color, we make everything y'all do cool. We add so much.
Oh, black people always do.
Yeah, we add so much to the party, and all I want you to do is just shut up and say thank you, man.
Thank you.
and go about your business.
Man of the house.
Man
Do
of the
it.
house.
Just give me
The Rock is in it too. I'm gonna figure it out. I'll remember it.
He's gonna message the group chat in a minute.
But so there's plenty of things like that, and we only got a few more minutes left. So I'm gonna close it out with this question. One of the other recent things.
Be cool.
Be cool. There you go. Be cool.
Wow, that's
That's an old.
Yeah,
classic.
it was a really dope speech, and he went off. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite Cedric movies ever. 2005. But so we have fantasy. I absolutely love fantasy. It's a great thing. Swords, dragons, absolutely. And we got these amazing shows on. The Ring of Power. We got Game of Thrones. We're all into it. What say you all? How do you feel about the inclusion of people of color being in these shows? Because the science has always been black people weren't in that region of the world, so that's why they're never there.
Bullshit, we were everywhere.
It's also
Yeah.
dragons, frozen fucking zombies. So I don't think that should matter.
It's the same concept.
We were
Well,
everywhere.
of course, we've seen it online, especially with the new series that is on Amazon. I think it's Amazon. That is
Ring of
the
Power.
yeah. You got that. But the biggest part is the one that is from Tolkien. It literally has said in the books, for people who have actually read it, that some of these characters had darker skin tones. People are up in arms because of the original Lord of the Rings and stuff did not have any representation. But it actually is in the source material that they were characters of darker skin tone. They're portraying it in this new series, and now they're upset because it's not supposed to be there. It's like, obviously you didn't read the source material. And we see that a lot of times with the Marvel series and stuff, like when the baton was passed on to the new Captain America, people were up in arms saying, oh, you're trying to force diversity. No, it's in the source material that this happens. You're
But
just mad that
they don't read
that
it.
Marvel made it happen. The problem is you're mad that you made it happen, or you've never read the source material.
Yeah. I think that's where, as a creator, like when I'm streaming, I do try, like, especially if I do like an art stream, I will push going out and reading the material. Don't think that what these movies are saying or in doing is what it's supposed to be. Because I've debated for 3 hours in a parking lot over Captain America versus or the Civil War. Debated because people who did not read the comic books thought for some reason, oh, that fight was, man, Captain America beat that ass. No, wait, hold on, read the comic first, my guy.
Yeah.
That's not how that happened. A lot of how they are doing these movies are, again, that's why I try and go in with just without my nerd glasses, because I will sit there and I'll be like, wait a minute, why are they taking this book and cross doing it this book and then taking this universe and putting it over here? Like, it doesn't make sense the way they're doing movies. So I just go in and I look at the movies for like the pretty value of it. Like, oh, that looks nice. But
the entertainment value.
Yeah, but if it's the story, I will stress it till the day I die. Read a goddamn book. Read it.
I personally,
just
can
got
you
to
guys hear me?
say,
Go ahead, Rand.
Man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, I personally have a because it's canon with the main films. We're talking about Lord of the Rings. I have a small problem with them diversifying some of the characters, and the only reason I do is because I have the thought to where the hell did they end up? Like, why did they all disappear when it came to the Lord of the Rings? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna put them in there, I want them in there. But then you telling me they all became extinct?
Let me get my teeth in.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, they're beautiful in the show, and I love them. Like, my favorite one is the dwarf guy's wife.
I knew it.
I
I
freaking
knew it.
love.
Yes.
I love her.
I want to smack the little dwarf and take his wife. But it's like where did they go? Like, I know the dwarfs died out, and that's cool. We got like 10 of them. None of them survived.
Hey, and that black elf is dope as hell in the show. So,
Yeah,
so you tell me his little lineup dies off?
yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
Mike, don't say that. Don't let them hear you say that. They're gonna take him out. They're gonna take him
No,
out.
hey, listen. Hey, I want him to have a kid, and his kid is a dope ass half elf because he's gonna hook up with old girl.
Right. Look, we had to get ready to wrap this up to end this panel. This was so much fun. I'm so glad you guys were available for this. I want you to tell everybody your socials, where they can find you, and get any of your cool stuff. And let us begin with Midori.
No, you can follow me on Twitch, Midori_Hana, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, you name it. I got it, Midori Hana 08. Follow me. There you go.
Awesome.
Hello, I'm Dana. You can follow, of course, I am the other half of the Moana Nui podcast. You can follow us on all social media platforms, Moana Nui podcast. And of course, follow Agents of Geekdom on all social media platforms, where we'll be streaming live every Thursday at 30 p.m. Eastern. You can catch up with us on Agents of Geekdom on all social media platforms.
Yay! I'm Ren McKenzie, RenMcKinzie. Search me, you'll find me.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Oh, wait, I don't think you're there.
Don't forget about Ryan.
Hey,
Okay, Ryan's back. There we go. He was making sales, y'all. He was getting money.
Sorry, y'all.
Tell everybody where they can find you at,
About
Ryan.
the Lord of the Rings.
No,
Lord of the
we're
Rings
past that.
about
We're past
goddamn
that.
time. Oh, I know.
Okay.
About time. And Ryan Robinson, R248 on Instagram, www.theartofryanrobinson.com.
Amazing.
The Adventures of Nicole Nohia, Shows of the Ancient is out now. And then we got Journey Saikua coming. Be ready for that. Love y'all.
Andre, I know you can't see. Can you see us? Can Andre? He's in there. Andre's in there.
I'm here doing a little bit of everything. Sorry. You can catch me at urbanstylecomics.com, or you can catch me on Facebook or Twitter, all that good stuff. Just pull my name up and I'll pop up. Sorry I was unable to get in on most of the conversation. That's because I was driving at the time.
All good, brother.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So maybe next time I'll be able to verbally get in. I like what everything everyone was saying. Everyone was on point with everything they said. It was thinking the same thing that I'm thinking, but you all put it out there. That's good. I really appreciate being a part of this event. It's a great event yesterday and today.
Yes.
All right. So until next time, peace, family.
All right.
Take it easy.
All right, everybody. I'm Mike Watson. I'd like to shout out Black Intellect for shouting out that comment. Read FSK books where diversity and inclusions are a part of their world. I couldn't have said it better. Matter of fact, that's a quotable. Matter of fact, that's a bar. I just screenshot that. Continues. Our next panel will be starting at 3:30. Of course, I've got another commercial to show you guys from one of our amazing products. Go ahead and check us out. And as Dana said, our Geekdom Network has launched. Agents of Geekdom. This is our launch weekend. All our shows are going to be starting Monday through Sunday. That's a show every day of the week. We got something on pop for you guys. Thank you for tuning into this panel. Next up on our panel list, we will have women, where we are and what's next, hosted by my sis Moana, who was going crazy in the chat.
Yes, I love Moana, I swear.
All right, we'll catch you guys at 3:30. Thank you, panelists.
Cut your hair.
Bye, everyone.
Aloha mai kako e ne komo mai o Moana ko ui noa he kakao molelo au. Aloha and welcome everyone. My name is Moana and I'm a children's book author, creator, and writer. Welcome to the Adventures of Nakoa and Nohea, Shadows of the Ancient Kickstarter campaign.